The time series data that I collected was total gross profit in the movie industry from the years 1980 to 2015. The purpose of analyzing this time series data is to be able to make predictions of the total gross profit movies will produce in years to come. This is an important measure for production companies to know so that they can make educated business decisions about whether or not they will accept movie ideas to produce, or how large the budget of the movie can be, what actors they can hire, etc. All forecasting techniques that I used produced a line that was very closely aligned with total gross profit. However, some techniques proved to be better than others based off of the average of their absolute errors. The three techniques that were least successful were 3-year moving average and 6-year moving average, along with linear forecasting. You can see from the graph at left that the 6-year moving average line is smoother and does not account as much for the variations in the data. The 3-year moving average line better follows the trends of the total gross profit. You can see from the graph at right that the linear forecasting technique completely flattens the line and predicts the total gross profit to increase linearly. Seasonality was not included in my analysis because it does not apply to years. Although this technique is a better indicator of future gross profit compared to the 3-year and 6-year moving averages, it could still be better. Out of these three techniques, the least successful was the 6-year moving average because the mean of the absolute error was the highest at 833.65. The most successful was linear forecasting with an average absolute error of 380.21. I decided to not use the weighted moving average technique in my analysis because the average of its absolute errors was in the middle of the range of the other techniques, and it was very close to the outcome of the 3-year moving average technique. Although the line for exponential smoothing with an alpha of 0.9 almost completely matches the line for total gross profit and has a low average of 373.6, this is a difficult technique to use while predicting because it accounts for the variations in the data and does not cover the underlying pattern of the data. Using an alpha of 0.3, however, focuses on the underlying pattern and therefore is a better predictor of future gross profit. Exponential smoothing with an alpha of 0.3 is the best technique to use because its absolute error has the lowest average of 373.55. This list provides the averages of the absolute errors for each forecasting technique used. The best technique is number 1 and the worst technique is number 5. This confirms that the best technique to use is exponential smoothing with an alpha of 0.3. After deciding to use exponential smoothing with an alpha of 0.3 to predict future gross profit in the movie industry, I found that gross profit is expected to decrease in the years to come. Based off of these numbers, production companies can decide to either not accept high-risk movies while deciding which ones to produce, and they could decrease the budget of the movies they are currently producing.